Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm bringing back my very first deck, which is my Blue Eyes deck. Now, keep in mind, this build is not the Guard Dragon build. I do like that build, I really do, but the problem is I can't afford that build because it runs dangers. I'm like, god damn it, like what is it with the dangers? But I have a love-hate relationship with dangers. Like, I don't hate them or anything, like, entirely, but at times I do hate them for being so damn expensive. So, anyway, this is still my pure synchro build. I made some changes, came up with some new strategies and techs that actually helped this deck out a lot. And I'm more focusing on more of the OG Blue Eyes this time around, because the deck, even though it's like, it's old-fashioned, it doesn't really rely on its extra deck too much, but this deck can really do a lot. Like, it's a very good offensive deck. If you know how to play correctly, you should be able to OTK your opponent fairly easily. I build mine to where I can go first, and on the side deck I have some choices. I made some choices to where I can, like, fix up my deck to go second. So anyway, let me just show you what I got this time around. And yeah, so starting off, playing 3 copies of Blue Eyes Red Dragon. There's nothing else to say about this card. This card is amazing. It's a normal monster, still the strongest normal monster there is, and also can't be hit with Widowmaker. So yeah, you don't have to worry about Sky Strikers, hurting this card at all. Next up, 3 alternatives. Counts as Blue Eyes Red Dragon, just with the effect to pop cards. And it also goes into your rank 8 plays fairly quickly too. Only 1 Dragon Spirit of White, just because, like, yeah, we have back row heavy decks now, but I do side out my second one still, so yeah. But I just generally need him when I need him. He can tag himself out as long as your opponent controls a monster, and special summon Blue Eyes from your hand. I'm playing the Archbrave and the Amorphous Goliath engine, and Archbrave is really good because, like, if it's summoned from the grave, you can banish all face-up spells and traps your opponent controls. So it's a good way to deal with cards like Floodgates. Sky Strikers, get rid of their multi-roll. So yeah, it's just good against everything in general. And Amorphous Goliath, just to keep your opponent... It's basically my deck's version of Artifact Sight, so your opponent can't access his extra deck other than Amorphous monsters. So yeah. Playing 3 Sage, standard. Searches out all your level 1 light tuners, including Effect Failure, so this guy is amazing. And to go in tangent with Sage now, I'm actually main decking my favorite card of all time again, which is Maiden with Eyes of Blue. One of your best normal summons. If you have Sage in your hand, normal summon this, target her with Sage, you get 2 free Blue Eyes. And since she's level 1, you can go into Link Karibo as well, so that way you don't have to, like, keep her entirely. That way you never know when you're going to encounter a monster that has piercing damage. So, yeah. And Salamangreats do have Jack Jaguar, and he does piercing damage. So, you just want to be well prepared. I'm only playing 2 White Son of Ancients. I'm siding out the 3rd one to make room for the Maiden. Mainly because I only have, like, 2 summoning targets. Like, Alternative can't be summoned through White Son of Ancients. But you can summon the Blue Eyes White Dragon and Dragon Spirit of White. So that's why I'm only playing 2. And 1 White Son of Legend. This card's, like, the best bait for Ash Blossom. So whenever I open up with this card, as well as a Melody with the Awakening Dragon, I always try to tease my opponent to, like, let him Ash the Melody, but I still get a free Blue Eyes from White Son of Legend. And then 1 Glow Bulb. Again, this helps me enable my synchro plays to get Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. So, yeah, and it's also a good Link Karibo target too. For hand traps, I'm actually playing 6 in total, but I decided to change up, like, which ones I wanted to use. For sure, I'm still playing Ash, so I'm playing this at 2. I'm playing 2 Droll and Lockbirds to deal with Danger Thunder. I feel like this is actually the best hand trap in the format in general, because, like, there's a lot of decks that are search heavy. Like, even Sky Strikers too, they're a search heavy deck. Ash doesn't really stop them, they can play around it, but Droll and Lockbird, it just keeps them from, adding more cards from their deck to their hand. Same with Danger Thunder. Salamangreat can pretty much play around this themselves too. It doesn't really stop them, because they usually just grind out their deck more to the grave rather than adding them to hand, so... But it's just got good matchups overall. And of course, 2 copies of Valor, which is another great hand trick for this format. So, and like I said, it's searchable through Sage, so that's really amazing. So, yeah. And that's pretty much it for the monsters. Moving on to spells. Playing 3 Melody. Of course, you want to search out your Blue Eyes and your alternatives as quickly as you can. 3 Trade-ins for draw power. 3 Return to the Dragon Lords. Best revival, and it's got self-protection. I'm only playing 2 Called by the Grave. I didn't feel 3 was necessary because my deck is so good at playing around hand traps. Like, you can bait and play something else, and you can still plus out of it. So I think that's why I feel like Called by the Grave at 2 is fine. 1 Silver Scry, Blue Eyes is a normal monster. Dragon Revival Rhapsody, a great card when you're going first because, like, if you manage to send, like, 2 dragons to the grave and you open up with either Sage or Maiden, you can play this, summon 2 free dragons, go into either a Link or an Xyz play. I usually just link off the Sage, go into Linkuriboh, and then go into, like, one of my Galaxy monsters, and then go into Dark Matter Dragon. 1 Dragon Shrine, of course. It's a hard once per turn, so if you open up with 2, it can be dead. But I do have Foolish Burial in place of that. 1 for 1, you definitely want to see your level 1s as quickly as you can. And for last draw card, Cards of Continents. And I decided to go ahead and run 1 Skill Drain. Figured since, you know, Blue Eyes is a normal monster, it's not affected by this at all. So, like, and a lot of decks that like to fill up their boards with so many different monsters and negation effects, if this is already on board, they can't really do anything because, like, their effects are, like, useless. They can still activate for cost, but they can't resolve. So, but it doesn't work on graveyard effects, so, yeah. But still, Skill Drain is definitely a great card. So that's 41 cards in the main deck, actually. But, honestly, that's not a problem at all. You got plenty of draw powers, so you should be able to get everything you need. For the extra, playing 2 Blue Eye Spirit Dragons. 1 to 0 Eyes for more protection and revival. Black Rose Moonlight, my deck's version of Nightmare Unicorn, or actually more like Mirage Stally because it bounces back to the hand. 1 Crystal Wing, negates, and also if it battles a level 5 or higher monster, gains attack points. Twin Burst, against like Boral Sword Dragon, you kind of want to keep this guy in defense mode, much like Thunder Dragon, Colossus, and Titan, because if it, even though it's in defense mode, it still engages in battle, and if it gets attacked, the monster it fails to destroy is automatically banished. But I also like to use this against Thunder Dragon measures. Like if they have 2 Colossus, they can, even if they don't get destroyed, they'll get removed from the game. For the Xyz, playing number 38 to deal with spell heavy decks like Sky Striker, Trickstar 2, technically speaking. Salamangreat does use a lot of spells too, so, but you just gotta know which ones to really hit. Galaxy Ice Tachyon can attack twice, so this is one of my OTK win conditions. 1 Cypher Dragon, 1 Cypher Blade, Full Armor Photon for spot removal, both of them actually. Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon to send 3 different dragons, and my opponent has to banish 3 different monsters from his grave, or from his deck, I'm sorry. But I generally just deter out like my Arc Brave and Amorphous Goliath play. The only links I'm playing are just Linkuriboh, Hippo Shinigami, which, again, I've been thinking about changing it back to Land Fornicus, but I'm still thinking about that. Hippo Shinigami just gives my Blue Eyes a power boost. And just 1 Decode Togger is just the standard. Link 3. I could always change it to something else if I wanted to, but yeah. I think this is good. Alright, so for the side deck, I'm playing my 2nd Dragon Spirit of White. I'm still having Blue Eye Solid Dragon on the side, because you never know when you can really use him, but he's there when he's there. And my 3rd White Son of Ancients. And that's pretty much it for the monsters, honestly. That's it. Now, for the side deck on spells, I decided to go a whole new direction. I'm playing this new tech card. Swords of Concealing Light. Yeah, Book of Eclipse is a quick play spell, but there is one drawback with Book of Eclipse. If you can't properly get rid of all your opponent's monsters in that turn, they all get flipped face up, and your opponent gets to draw for each one. Whereas Swords of Concealing Light, much like Book of Eclipse, is not a hard one per turn, but it's a continuous effect. So your opponent's monsters that he currently controls get flipped face down for two turns. So like after your 2nd standby phase, this card gets removed. And to go into tandem with these Swords of Concealing Lights, I found some effective cards to, get rid of your opponent's back row. Like that way, he can't use any built-in protection effects. He can't use any just generally, like, he can't go into link climbing either. So, but to go with them, I play 1 Dark Hole, 1 Regeki, and 1 Burst Stream of Destruction. That way, while they're face down, like I said, they can't negate, they can't use any built-in protection because they're not considered those types of monsters or whatever while they're face down. So, these really work very well together. 3 Twin Twisters, figured, again, it's a lot of back row heavy decks right now, so I figured this was the best call. And Shared Ride, which is good against just about everything right now, like Salamangreat, Sky Striker, Trickstar, anything that surges and replenishes the resources. So shared ride, definitely a great option. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. Well, anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys again next time.